travel to Holland. So without much ado, हम ज़्यादा इंतज़ार नहीं करेंगे आप. So Shama Priya Didi, if you are there, if you could unmute yourself. Dhanwad Didi.
Hare Krishna, Dhanwad.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for joining us today. And we'd like to welcome you wholeheartedly on this platform to help share with us. Please share with us your glorification of Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj, and enlighten us with your sweet nectarian glorification. Thank you, Didi.
Prabhuji. Well, thank you for introducing me. Also, Sham Prabhu for marathon. Am I audible? Is
Yes.
it okay?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, okay. And giving the chance and the opportunity to speak about Gurudev's. So thank you so much. Om Gyanatimran Dhasya Gyananjana Shlakya Chaksurumitam Jaina Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Gaura Prasthaya Bhutale Shrimad Bhaktivedanta Maniti Namine. Guru Gaura Chandraya Radhikaya Tadaliye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namaha. Vanchakapatra Vishya Kripa Sindhu Bhayam Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavabhyo Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. First of all, I would like to pay my unlimited Dandavat pranams unto the dust of the lotus feet of my spiritual master, Om Vishnupat Astadrasat Srimad Bhaktivedanta Srila Goswami Maharaj. Simultaneously, I would like to pay my unlimited Dandavat pranams unto the dust of the lotus feet of my Param Gurudevs, Nitya-lila Pravishta Vishnupat Astadrasat Srimad Bhaktivedanta Srila Goswami Maharaj, and also to the lotus feet of Nitya-lila Pravishta Vishnupat Astadrasat Srimad Bhaktivedanta Srila Narayan Goswami Maharaj. To the entire Guru Rupanuga Varga, to all my senior Vaishnavas, Vaishnavis, to all my God brothers and sisters, and to everybody who is listening today, please accept my humble Dandavat pranams. Well, I am absolutely not qualified to speak about the glories of my Gurudev. And as a devotee, we always consider ourselves as unqualified, whether it's about going deeper into Tattva Siddhanta or reading scriptures, learning shlokas. But Gurudev would sometimes say, yes, you will never be qualified, but you have to start making yourself qualified. So in what way can we make ourselves qualified? By following the instructions of our spiritual master, of our Gurudev, waking up Brahma Murta, listening Harikatha, reading books, learning shlokas, Vaishnav Seva, Thakurji Seva, and most importantly, Nam Seva, chanting the holy names. And Gurudev would always emphasize the importance of chanting Mahamantra. He himself, he is always, when you see him, always chanting Mahamantra, always with his Japamala in his hand. I don't know what time he wakes up, I think at 3 a.m., starting chanting his holy names. And throughout the whole day, he would engage himself in Nam Seva and other kinds of Seva. He would also say, you can forget to eat, but never forget to chant the holy names. And also that you should keep your Japamala nearby your bed. And when you wake up, wash your hands and not first grab your phone. No, grab your Japamala and chant the holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So the past few days, I've been listening to the glorification of all the devotees sharing their stories. And I feel so junior amongst all of you. You give so much inspiration in my heart, and I feel so lucky and grateful to be in this Krishna conscious family, especially under guidance of our Srila Gurudev, and to be in association also with our dear God brothers and sisters and our seniors throughout the world. And this year was also an amazing year for us because Gurudev started to travel again in Europe, going to England, to Paris, to Germany, to Holland, to Iceland. And this gave us the opportunity to be in his association and to listen Harikatha directly from him. but also not only to listen Harika, but also to learn from him, to see him, to get to know him better. His sweet and caring mood towards each and every one of us, especially when Gurudev was in Iceland for the first time. Me and Krishna Kripa Prabhu, by Gurudev's mercy, we were able to be part of this event, and there was only one Gurudev's new disciple living in Iceland, Dinabandhu Prabhu, and he felt separation from Gurudev and devotees and invited Gurudev to come to Iceland. And Gurudev mercifully said, yes, I will come. So everything was arranged. And a few days before, two Didis, Kunjeshwari Didi, Gaurangi Priya Didi, were arranging everything, making flyers to spread all over Iceland and looking for suitable preaching places. And this also made me realize that it's not easy to preach, and that reminded me of the story Gurudev always tells about when he went to Brazil the first time for preaching, not knowing how to preach, or where to preach, how to get the driving for hours for some places to go by car, and who will stay, who will accept, and all kind of things. And so almost the same thing was also there in Iceland, but it was so successful. We started off with Kirtan, and Gurudev would give chance to all the guests who would come, asking them if they could sing or maybe play an instrument, and engaging everybody in the Kirtan. And one Prabhu very nicely played the guitar and also sang the Om Namah Shivaya mantra. And very nicely he would do that, and Gurudev would enjoy, everybody would enjoy. And Gurudev would invite this Prabhu the next day also to come and join the programs. And he did came, and he sang again that day. And everybody also was dancing on the Kirtan, and Gurudev made everybody chant the holy names, distributed prasadam. So also in the yoga center where we were, he invited the guests after he was finished speaking. Then he invited all of the guests one by one to come in front to speak also something, and distributing them nimala so they can chant on the mala. So in this way we can see that it doesn't even matter whether you're a devotee or non-devotee. Gurudev will show his love and affection to anyone. He is not discriminating at all. And this is also something we can learn from him. We cannot say because you're not devotee, we cannot accept. No, we should just accept them also and teach them, that we're like simple basics. We're not the body but the soul. And in this way we can also see from Gurudev and learn from him. So Gurudev liked Iceland very much. So I hope maybe next he will go again one day. Then we can join him again, hopefully, with Gurudev's mercy. It's very rare also to be in association with a bona fide spiritual master. The shloka is also saying, Brahmanda Brahmita Kone Bhagyavan Jeev, Guru Krishna Prasade Vai Bhakti Lata Beach. So from all the living entities wandering throughout the whole entire universe, by Krishna's mercy, the Jiva is very fortunate to have the opportunity to associate with this spiritual master. So both Krishna and Krishna and the spiritual master, by their mercy, such a person will get the seed of the creeper of bhakti in their heart. Of devotional service in their heart. And we get this also by the mantra we receive from Guru. So it's our duty also to give water to this seed so it can sprout. And this we can do by following the 9 limbs of bhakti, from which most 3 prominent Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam. And in this way we can also realize our Svarup. Like Gurudev's also always telling this shloka, Jivara Swarupa Hoy Krishna Nitya Das, Krishna Tatasya Shakti Beda Bed Prakash. So in this way also Krishna Seva Vasana will come, the desire to serve Krishna. So yeah, we disciples and the dear ones of Gurudev, we know the loving and caring mood of Gurudev. And many times I heard many devotees also saying the same thing. That you never go when you're with Gurudev, you never go without getting any prasadam. Or maybe that he will ask you, did you take prasadam? I know every time when we meet Gurudev, and the first two things he is asking us is, when did you arrive and did you take prasadam? And then in this way, he would always ask very, very caring and very lovingly, showing his love and affection to us, actually all of us. And yeah, I was thinking what to speak more, because I know this year was actually like this amazing year. We could travel, we could be with Gurudev in his presence, listen to his Harikatha, being in Paris, for example. Very nice devotee's house we stayed, and like a little retreat, Gurudev liked it so much, doing everything there together. So I hope and I pray to Guru and all of you to shower your mercy upon me, so that one day Guru Nishtha and Sivavriti will manifest in my heart. And in this way, I can follow Gurudev's instructions every day and stay always in association with the Vaishnavas and be in Sadhu Sangha always. So I will not take much of your time. Thank you so much again for giving me the opportunity. And I hope to see you all very soon. And thank you so much.
Thank you, Shamapriya Didi. Lovely to hear from you. And we're blessed to have your presence on the platform. Your particular enthusiasm to travel with Gurudev and to hear from him directly is very encouraging, because this is the important part. All the services that we do, you mentioned the 9 limbs of bhakti. Shravanam is the first one, listening. But listening should be done directly from the lotus lips of Sri Guru. And directly means the best way is to sit in front of him. And he always wants that. I think you will agree that he always wants us to sit in front of him, directly in front of him, to make eye contact and to listen to him, to listen to his words. And in this way, we can get the Shabda Brahman directly from him into our ears and into our heart. Like he often gives the example, not from one ear and out of the other. So he often calls us, you remember, he often, if you're doing any other service, if you're cooking, he will chastise you. He said, come, stop the cooking, come and sit and listen to Harikatha. This is the time, isn't it? Yeah? You are very right in saying that. And sometimes our Gurudev also, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, used to tell us that this black box will cheat you. If we try to hear from the recordings of Srila Gurudev, that is second best. The best is always to do our service under Sadhu Sangha. So if we're chanting, we should do it with Sadhu Sangha directly. This is best. If we're listening to Harikatha, we should do it directly with Sadhu Sangha. And if we're remembering, if we can remember with Sadhu Sangha, all the activities, all the limbs of bhakti should be done with Sadhu Sangha. And listening to Harikatha, as you will agree, is the best way of doing that. So you're very encouraging in your words. Thank you very much for speaking today. Will we get a chance to listen to Krishna Kripa Prabhu as well?
I'm not sure for today, but let's see what he says.
Right. Is he in our list? You must make sure that he comes on and we get to
I will
hear
ask him again. I will tell him.
We'll have to push him in. Do you know when you will see Gurudev again? When is your plan?
I think the next opportunity will be in Navadip Parikrama, I think.
Okay, that will be nice. We all look forward to that. He is coming to the UK for 3 days, from the 21st to the 23rd. So I know many devotees from Holland, they like to come and visit. It's only a 5-hour drive or so, 5-6 hours from Holland to UK, not including the ferry time, but certainly we look forward to seeing you. You've come to England many times as well to listen to Gurudev. And so we look forward to that.
Let's see, by Gurudev's mercy.
Yes, and you're right also about his encouragement for us to, or he's always checking on us if we've taken prasad. So this prasad is of 2 types. That he's always saying Hari Katha and then prasad. And without prasad, without having our stomachs filled, on an empty stomach, we cannot listen to Harikatha. So he's always checking that you're ready to listen to Harikatha by checking that you've taken prasad. So thank you for sharing that with us. It was very nice to hear from you. Thank you, Didi.
Thank you, Prabhu.
So we will also invite other speakers from Holland very soon. But we have one special speaker from Brazil. I think just mentioning the word Brazil, it brings a sense of excitement because Gurudev is so fond of Brazil. He's actually named it Brudge, from Brazil to Brudge. So we're very fortunate to have Tarani Gopi with us, I hope, on the platform somewhere. If you could unmute Tarani Gopi. I can't see you on the screen, but let's see.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranams. I asked Lalit Kishore Prabhu if he could speak before me. I'll be ready soon.
Okay, is he there? Is Lalit Prabhu?
Yeah, I think he's there, yes.
Yeah, could you,
Yes,
Tarani,
yes, I'm here.
Tarani, could you do us a favor and introduce him for us?
Yes. Hare
Please.
Krishna. So Lalit Kishore Prabhu, he is a very prominent devotee of Gurudev, really surrendered. He has been doing so much service to Gurudev since he has taken shelter of Gurudev, always doing especially Kirtan Seva, always there for the Kirtan, the programs, and playing Mridanga according to Gurudev's desires. Also, he's been helping so much in the service of magazines and books, printing in Portuguese language together with his wife, Elachota Priya Didi. And always he also in São Paulo temple, he's always giving Harikatha, glorifying Vaishnavas, doing amazing service together with Achuta Priya Didi.
Thank you, Tarani Gopi Didi. We'll hear you soon. Lalit Prabhu, thank you for joining us today. We're very honored to have you. We have spent some time together on Parikram, but it's always, time is always so busy and so short that we never get time to connect more closely. So I ask for forgiveness on that, on my part for that, and wish that you will share some of your realizations and your appreciation of Srila Gurudev, which I'm sure will be very sweet and very enlivening for us. Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Jai Nagamohan Prabhu.
Thank
My
you.
humble thanks unto you. I am
Dandavat.
sorry that I have the opportunity to be with you and I didn't take this opportunity. I hope one day I can have again this opportunity to be in our association. You are very dear to Gurudev. And thanks so much for the opportunity. I can purify my existence and use my tongue for something useful. Om Gyanat Mirandasya Gyanam Jana Shalavaya Chakshumiritam Jana Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Gora Prishtaya Bhutale Shri Mate Bhaktivedanta Vaniti Namine Namo Vishnu Padaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Mate Bhaktivedanta Narayana Goswami Namine Vanchakalpatarvesha Pipa Sindhu Vivacha Patitanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Garadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So before I speak, I offer my humble obedience to my Gurudeva. That's like a amazing personality which we are trying to glorify, and to my Param Gurudeva, to all Vaishnavas assembled here. And I would like to start my endeavor to glorify Srila Gurudeva with a song of Vaishnava Dasa, Jaya Jaya Shri Guru. Because in this song, Vaishnava Dasa, he's glorified like a proper who is Guru. And many times I read this song, Jaya Jaya Shri Guru, and I can see Gurudeva in every line of this song, because he's saying here, all glories to Shri Guru, the desired tree of Prema, whose manifestation is most astonishing. With effulgent moonbeam of knowledge, he destroys the vast darkness of ignorance in the heart. And this first one, I can see the Gurudeva. Since I met him like 2011, he always trying to give transcendental knowledge to destroy this darkness of the heart. Even and the next part of the song, he's saying, his eyes are the abode of bliss. Seeing a person as fallen as me, this person has voluntarily gave me Harinama, even without my asking. And I can see this in Gurudeva, many years in Gurudeva just he's by force, many times he's saying this, you don't want to listen Harikatha, but by force I'm giving. You don't want to chant holy names. I never even ask for this, but Gurudeva, many times you should take Harinama, you should sing Harinama. And the next one saying, I'm weak and helpless, and my mind is constantly absorbed in mundane matters. I do not possess even 1 iota of devotion merit. Yet he still instructed me about the Shiva Vrindavan and the treasure of bhajan of the divine couple. And I can send Gurudeva, even like in Brazil, Tarani Gopi said many things because that's her great fortune. He's devoted like this. I don't have this qualification. I just try very hard, but Gurudeva even no qualification have his speaking about Shirada Krishna, the Astasaki, the Manjaris. He's saying about the bhajan of divine couple. Gurudeva he is not looking or you have a qualification or not. He wants to give like the topmost job for everyone. And you can sing the song. This part was my favorite because like even without I ask, I have no qualification. Gurudeva gave me Harinam by force. Gurudeva instructed me about the bhajan of divine couple Radha and Krishna. And the next one, we all can sing Gurudeva because he's traveling around the world, showing the world with pure nectar of Gaura Prema. Gurudeva, like his Pranama mantra, Namo Vishnu Padaya Gaura Prishtaya Bhutale Srimat Bhaktivedanta Bhana Goswami Maharaj Tinamine. Srila Gurudeva is Gaura Priyajana. Gurudeva is between the most like intimate association for Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Since I met Gurudeva, I could see like how he has so much love and affection for Sachinanda Gaura Hari. In Brazil, he always used to travel with big Mahaprabhu, always. He's in the plane, Mahaprabhu inside. He's in the car, Mahaprabhu with him. He always take his date. Nowadays, this date is in Rio de Janeiro, the temple. But in the beginning, there was only one Mahaprabhu, Ni Mahaprabhu, very big. This one like used to travel all Brazil. This Mahaprabhu went to many places, many houses. Like Mahaprabhu said, in every village, every corner of the world, they will sing my names. And Gurudeva make this possible to take Mahaprabhu with him. And nowadays in Brazil, by the mercy of Gurudeva, there is many Mahaprabhus in Brazil. And Gurudeva, he's fulfilling everyone's hope. Having not developed Rati for his lot feet, the Vaishnava Das weeps. And then this glorification of Vaishnava Das, I feel so much Srila Gurudeva. For this reason, the devotees some years ago, they made like an offering to Gurudeva. Krishna Kripa Prabhu sing this song, Jai Jai Shri Guru. And what's Gurudeva, he's always trying to inspire many devotees, like many devotees, the whole world. Gurudeva wants to give Harinama instruction, how to develop our spiritual life. Even when because many times Gurudeva, this last time in Brazil, I was talking to Gurudeva and I asked something to him and he said, you think too much. And it must think more problems, like more difficulty. But it's very easy, it's very simple. You are here. Why you are lamenting? Why you? And because this is my nature, Shudra, used to like to complain many times. But Gurudeva said, you are here. Now why complain? Just you came here, just do it. It's very simple. Don't think too much, do more. And I can see like Gurudeva, I'm very grateful. I cannot, Gurudeva know my heart, Gurudeva know everything, but it's very difficult to realize this. But by the mercy of the Vaishnavas, this week in Brazil, like many days, many devotees were glorifying Srila Gurudeva too. And it was really beautiful to listen the glorification of Srila Gurudeva from the mouth of the devotees, like our God brothers, and here we can see like how Gurudeva is making miracle in the lives of many people. And for this, we can associate with these devotees who has realization, and we can taste something about like these glories of Srila Gurudeva. And like Shama Priyadidi said, and I was just read yesterday one song that like I think like was the last year the devote sang to Gurudeva, Hari Dinto Yala Gelo, and I was reading this translation, this song yesterday. It was really beautiful because this Gurudeva likes so much the song, and the song is saying, I just have come here to cross this ocean because I have listened. You can take the person who have no money, but the only condition he's saying in this song is the holy name of the Lord. This holy name, I don't have money, I don't have secret, I don't have anything. But by the mercy of Gurudev, I have a holy name. Like in Shri Shikshastra, he's saying, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, the holy name is more merciful than Lord. And Gurudeva ever stands like you can just see in his Harikatha, many times he sing Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And that's our great fortune because we have Sadhu Sangha and have Nam Sankirtan. That's what Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to bring. I don't have any knowledge, I don't have anything, but Gurudeva is giving, like in this song, I didn't even ask for Harinama, but Gurudeva, he is giving Harinama. And with this Harinama, we can cross this material existence. I remember once and we were in Brazil, me and Pundarikaksha Prabhu, and we asked Srila Gurudeva, Gurudeva, we can sing our Harikatha many times. You are saying, chant holy names, Hare Krishna. We can write to you speaking about many problems about our life, and you just like answer, chant the holy names. And me and Pundarikaksha Prabhu asked to him, why Gurudeva? And Gurudeva said, you cannot believe, but the holy name is everything, and holy names can do everything. That's true. For this reason, I always say holy name, holy name, holy name, chant holy names. And I think this one very interesting characteristic of Srila Gurudeva, he is always chanting holy name, like Shama Priyadidi said. With Gurudeva, always chanting holy names, doing some kirtana. He's always like he give too much emphasis. You should be enthusiastic. You should do kirtan, chant holy names. For this reason, Gurudeva gave me so much mercy. I can do some service, try to make some kirtan, bhajan, but this is the mercy of the Vaishnava. I want to be one like empty flute, just makes to be this instrument of Srila Gurudeva that he can use to spread this message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this Naga Sankirtana, chant holy names. And I know that the Krishna consciousness of Srila Gurudeva is the most important thing in my life by the mercy of Srila Gurudeva. Just 3 days ago, I was talking to Jagovinda Prabhu about this, and maybe 11 years ago, I didn't know what's Navadvipadam, what's Vrindavanam, who is Radha, who is Krishna, who is Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But Gurudeva, he gave me everything. He told me who is Rupa Goswami, who is Raghunatha Goswami, who is Nityananda Prabhu, who is Radha, who is Krishna. He's saying, who am I? I'm spirit soul. Então, Gurudeva, he's giving me everything. For this reason, he's the most important person in my life. And I know, like, I have many anarthas in my heart. Once I was talking to Gurudeva, and I said, oh, Gurudeva, I try. I stopped to chant my holy names, and I return. I try to sing, and I sing, and again I fall. I know I try, Gurudeva, and I feel sad because I cannot do this properly. And Gurudeva said, I know you try. That's true. But to have like so much bad sanskars, you don't have a good impression, and you have to try again. And that's your only option. If you fall, no problem. You have to try again. Don't worry if you stop chanting holy names, then again chant holy names. You have to, bad Sanskrit, you have to be patient, you have to try this life very hard. And the next life, you have like a better impression in your heart, some good Sanskrit. Because I'm very materialistic, my heart's like a rock, and always absorbing in all bad things. But after I met Gurudeva, I cannot say my life not changed. I have changed a lot. Gurudeva took many bad things of my life. I have many alerts, but it's not like because Gurudeva didn't make it clean, because too much trash, too much dust. And this is a very heavy job to anyone to do. But Gurudeva, in 10 years, he could take so much trash out of my heart that even want to be possible in many, many lives without the help of one pure devote of the Lord. Everyone can try to help, but no one can help. Only Shri Guru can help. That's the truth. Guru and Vaishnavas. And for this reason, I just try to glorify Shri Gurudeva, and I hope the devotees feel inspired by the glories of Gurudeva, because he made a miracle in my life. And I pray to everyone that I can have association all the Vaishnavas that are here many days glorifying Srila Gurudeva. Ananga Mohan Prabhu, who is always near Srila Gurudeva, he is very dear and near to Srila Gurudeva. Please give him some bless, some drop of the faith you have in my Gurudeva. If I have this faith you have in my Gurudeva, then my life will be successful. Jai Srila Gurudeva. Vancha Kalpataru Vesha Kripa Sindhu Vyacha
Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for that heartfelt offering. We're very touched by your words, and many remembrances come of Gurudev when you're speaking. So this is the real test of a disciple, that they're able to connect one person to another person through their realizations because of their spiritual master. And in this way, you can introduce so many people to your Gurudev because your heart is sincere. You can connect to those souls because purity is the force. And if you have that purity, you can connect, make that connection, which is what Gurudev wants us to do. And I think you're doing that very nicely. I was thinking of some key words when you were speaking, like Gurudev is like a surgeon. He changes, he operates on you, and he does surgery on you. So he takes away your anarthas, and you become very, your aura changes, your personality changes. Like you said, how much you've changed in the last 11 years since you met Gurudev. And I can see that. And I can see that in many people that Gurudev meets. And you see them first, and when they take Harinam, they take Diksha, and they practice the process, there's so many changes that come in their life. And I think you are a very good example of that. So thank you for your offering. Many things you said about Mahaprabhu as well, that Gurudev, he loves Mahaprabhu very much. Actually, before, in his childhood, he was worshipping Mahaprabhu more than Radha Krishna. The Mahaprabhu was their Ishtadev. So Gurudev is very familiar with Mahaprabhu. And this shows in his carrying Mahaprabhu's deities all over, wherever he goes, not only physically, but also in his heart. So this is very nice. Thank you, Prabhuji. And we hope to hear from you again soon. And so we move again to Brazil, and staying in Brazil, we go to Tarani Gopi Devi Dasi, who is very dear to Srila Gurudev. I know she's very dear because she also has taken much chastisement from Srila Gurudev, and I'm sure she's blessed in that way. And she has many experiences of traveling with Gurudev, serving him in many different ways, from arranging his visa, passport, any difficulties that he has. He's always very happy to engage Tarani Gopi because he knows that she can do the job. And this is one very nice qualification of hers. So without much ado, I'd like to introduce her to everyone. My apologies to the Hindi-speaking audience at the moment, for my lack of Hindi contribution in this presentation. But Tarini Gopi also speaks in Hindi, so I won't request her to speak in Hindi unless she wants to. I know she stands in front of the camera in India, and she is presented on the news clips and like that, representing our Sanatan Dharma in the Western countries. So thank you very much, Tarini Gopi. If you'd like to.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
How much time do I have, Prabhuji?
20 minutes,
Exactly.
if you like more.
20.
That's also, you can also speak for 30 because we are ahead of ourselves. So, okay.
Okay, about 20 minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
Please let me know when it's 20 minutes, but I will also keep
sure.
track of time.
I will.
Okay. Gyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Panguna Gete Giring Jatkripatamaham Vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Namo Vishnu Padaya Gora Prishtaya Bhutale Shimate Bhakti Vedanta Vanaiti Namine Gurave Gora Chandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha Vande sorry, forgot them. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Shri Gaura Bhaktavrind Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, Gurudeva, and to all Vaishnavas for giving me this opportunity, engaging me in a chance to try to purify me somehow by trying to speak something about Gurudev, Srila Gurudev, glories of Gurudev. Thank you so much, really. So I'm really happy to be here with all of you today on this day, to hear and hear and speak the glories of Gurudev. Of course, first of all, my pranams to Srila Gurudeva, Vishnupada Paramahansa Srila Bhaktivedanta Srila Goswami Maharaj, and also to Param Gurudev Nitya Pravista Srila Bhaktivedanta Vamana Goswami Maharaj, Nitya Pravista Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj. My obeisances also to everyone who is hearing, everyone who will hear or heard, and my obeisances to all of you. And please bless me so that I can become one disciple, one devotee one day. So I think this is so beautiful endeavor that devotees are organizing for us to get together, and so many devotees can get a chance to speak about Srila Gurudeva, because all of us, we were touched by Srila Gurudeva. That's why we're here, right? He touched our heart. And like Param Gurudev used to say, put our heart in his pocket and went. And then we started running behind them. And actually, I didn't even know exactly today. I was thinking what to say about exactly. But I think the thing I have been thinking about, like Ananga Mahaprabhu mentioned, how Gurudev is engaging us. I think the main thing really is like about the cabbage story. I cannot stop thinking about the cabbage story all the time. And how, you know the story, but let's hear one more time. Okay, one disciple, he bought one cabbage and gave to the sevak, the cook of Guru, and said, please cook this cabbage to Gurudev. And then the servant of Guru, the cook, he was cutting the cabbage, cutting, trying to find the vegetable inside, but couldn't find it. And after, when that disciple came back from his work, he's like, okay, where's the Mahaprasad, Maha with the cabbage sabji? Did you cook for Gurudev? Cook it. And then the servant of Guru said, no, what cabbage? There's nothing inside, only leaves. Who will eat those leaves? And then the disciple said, exactly, there is the cabbage. You just cook the leaves, that is the subject, exactly. And then you offer and then give to Gurudev. And the other disciple, oh, okay. So like Gurudev is like this, you know, like he's been telling every day, you know, like his only interest in this world is to help us. How can we progress in our spiritual life? Only interest. That's why he's going everywhere. That's why he wants to meet many people just to help them. And what is he doing? He's looking at us, and according to our karma and some samskaras, good, bad, anything, we'll have different kinds of nature, different kinds of qualities and many things. And he's just taking that thing, and whatever we have already, he's trying to engage in the service of Guru and Krishna. And in this way, we can get Sukriti, slowly progress in our spiritual life. Like so many shlokas in the scripture say that the first step, I think someone has got the mic on. Like first step is whatever love we have for material things. The first step is whatever we like. Like for example, we like to eat, Brazilians like to eat açaí, you know, there's maybe most of you know, açaí is like a fruit that from Amazon forest, and the Brazilians make like kind of ice cream with that, and it's really nice and good for health. So Brazilians like to eat this. So, okay, first step, we offer whatever you like to eat, you offer to the deity whatever you like. Okay, this is the first step. And after, okay, now after what Guru and Krishna like, then slowly we progress. So in the same time, the main goal is to what? Like whatever love we have for material things, the same love, we just change to Guru and Krishna. And that's why Gurudev is like engaging us and everything. And actually, I wanted to speak a little bit about this song also. This is Ashraya Korea Bandhu, because I think devotees also mentioned about this song. I think if we would like learn this song in our hearts, then our life would be so successful. Because this song is all about, is from Sanatana Das, page 30 in the Gauriya Gita Guch, for those who don't know this song. So this song he's saying, you should never think Gurudev is a mutant person. Guru ke manushagyan naka rokakon, tatapi abhagya Guru ninda, Guru ninda kabukar naka roshravan. Guru abikriya jadi deka hokokon, tatapi abhagya nahi karot kadachan. Each sloka of this song, each pair, right, is full of, we can speak 1 hour about each of these verses, really. It's like, so I don't even know exactly in what to focus. If Anand Mahaprabhu, you want me to focus in something specific aspect of, because there's so many things I don't even know exactly.
No, just from your heart, whatever is coming, it's inspiring.
Okay.
Just before you carry on, I want to say that there's the translation link on the chat. So if anybody doesn't understand, Chaitanya Das is translating also. So if Taranidhi, you could speak a little slower, then
slower. I'm sorry, I know, get excited.
Very excited.
Yes. So what happened to me, mainly I think everyone knows my story, because we are always speaking and hearing. So my story basically was when I met Gurudeva, that completely changed my life. I was 18 years old, and I was still, of course, the day my life changed completely. Yes, Gurudeva, when I met him, I took Harinam next day after I met him, and I was already vegetarian. And then from that on, my life everything changed completely, because I didn't even know about the absolute truth, about Krishna, about the supreme goal of human life. So like Lalit Kishore Prabhu says, and Raghunath Das Goswami says in his verses, right? Gurudev is giving me everything. He's given, we don't even know what is auspiciousness, what is not auspiciousness, but then he comes, he gives the auspiciousness, explain to you how is auspicious, and delivers like everything together. So it's like samsara dava nala lira loka tranaya karuna ganaganatom prapta sakalina gunara navasya bande guru shri charanara vindam. The embodiment of mercy. When like these days Gurudeva was speaking in Houston, actually was very beautiful. Those who were able to listen to this, I mean, always Harikatha is always amazing, but in Houston these last few days, Gurudev is being explaining how that's so beautiful. I always think when he explains about how Gopakumara came to, Gopakumara, when he arrived in Vaikuntha, and Lord Narayana told him, I was your guru. I was there. Actually, I myself manifest in the form of your Guru Jayanta, to make sure that you, even though you had no pious deeds, no punya karma, anything, that you would get this ahituki kripa, this causeless mercy, and then you would be able to come to me, because you didn't want to come to me. So I came in, like God himself telling Gopakumara, I came in the form of your guru, trying to bring you to me. And Gurudev was telling again and again now in Houston, I could something I could understand. And basically what I understood is like, it takes, of course, everything depends, for us to realize, get the realization, everything depends on our dedication, true. And how much samskara we are creating, right? How much deep we are imbibing ourselves with all this knowledge. But he's again and again, he was saying, this is some kind of life after life, because these things are so deep. And but this should, even hearing if this is something which is like a life after life process, we should always think like in this life. That's why they always say like because we have our consciousness is according to this life. We don't remember previous life, we don't know anything about the next life. So we have to think what in this life? We have to think that Jara prati Gurudev Hana Parasan Kono Bignesei Nahi Hoi Abasan. If Gurudev is pleased with someone, nothing can affect that person. So Shiguru Kripa Hi Kevalam, our only endeavors actually, if we really think about it, bhakti and attaining the real swarupa of the jiva, our eternal identity, first is Guru Puja. Please Gurudev. How to please Gurudev? Because like Yasa Prasada, Bhagavat Prasada, Yasa Prasada, Nagati Kutoyopi, Tayam Stuvastam Tasandhyam, Bande Guru Shri Charanaravindam. If Gurudev is pleased with us, then Krishna will be pleased with us. It's like there's also, I love that verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita. How is it again? Jive Sakshat Nahitate Guru Chaitarupe Shiksha Guru Hoya Krishna Mahanta Swarupe. Because God is in our heart always, you know, but I am looking outside, searching for happiness. So when God is really merciful to us, he appears, this God, like the Paramatma Chaita Guru in our heart, which is the same Lord himself, of course, he appears in front of us as the Mahanta Guru, the initiating Guru. So I just, and like this song, Ashraya Koriya Bandhu, in this song, Gurudev is explaining, Sanatana Das is explaining one important point. He says, don't look in the face of someone who criticizes your Guru. And don't go to the place where Guru is criticized, right? And I remember one time Gurudev was so boldly speaking about this, which is sometimes in our spiritual life, so we need to be careful with many things, right? So he said like this, I love how Gurudev says, like he speaks, he's like, what is Guru Nishtha, right? What is Guru Nishtha? Then he was defining like this in that class. What is Guru Nishtha? We know Guru Nishtha is the backbone of our spiritual life. What is Guru Nishtha? Gurudev said, one who loves to Guru, I love to him. Someone who doesn't love to Guru, I stay far. Like this. And he was again and again repeating, saying, what is Guru Nishtha? One who loves my Guru, I love him. And those who don't love to Guru, I just stay far, like indifferent. So this seems like okay, simple to understand, but sometimes can be really hard to put in practice in our lives. How we deal with the devotee, especially because we cannot not commit any offense. It's like Gurudev says, no, it's an art. How to live in this world, how to practice bhakti, you need to learn everything, how to make nicely. But basically Gurudev says, what is Guru Nishtha? Means your I like translation of Nishtha. Actually, I prefer the translation loyalty. So like I know the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, they translate as steadiness, but I couldn't never understand exact steadiness. But when I heard loyalty, you know, this sometimes Indians translate as loyalty, Nishtha, and I understand more. I'm like, oh, loyalty, okay. So Nishtha is loyalty. So you're loyal to your Guru. So if someone loves your Guru, then automatically, of course, you like that person. And Gurudev loves that person also, you love to him. And then if someone doesn't like your Guru, you're not criticized, just respect, but no need to involve, because this loyalty, right? You're loyal to that person, you're loyal to that person. So actually, in these other, okay, I also wanted to speak a little bit about how Gurudeva, I think devotees have already probably spoken about it, how Gurudeva always says, no, Gurudeva again and again, he says, Gurudeva is not a person. He's like a principle, if you think about, like Krishna Seva Murta Vigraha, the embodiment of service, all the time. And really, if you think about, of course, we know Gurudev is giving example all the time, how to serve every time. And it's so beautiful. I remember when my mother met Gurudev, in the beginning, I used to tell Mom, he's always serving. Everything he's doing is for Krishna consciousness. And my mom understood that, like, okay, for Hare Krishnas, there's no happiness in this world. Okay, she understood like this. Then my mom said that. Then you know that famous picture of Gurudeva caressing a cow. Maybe you remember this photo. He's wearing like a kind of red jacket, and there's like a
the cow is also red or brown. And my mom saw that photo. She's like, whoa, look at, but your Guru is smiling here. He's smiling. Like, because she thought, okay, no happiness. So he's happy feeling the touch of the cow, like this. Basically, she wanted to say. So we need to explain, okay, actually, whatever he's doing, but Gurudev, even if he's everything, because actually Gurudev always explains, this world is not bad. Because here is also the garden of Shri Hari, right? The garden of God. So everything depends on your mood. So if you look at the things in this world and you connect them to Krishna, these cows belong to Krishna, they bring happiness to Krishna, and you remember the cows of Goloka Vrindavan. So this is also service, because you remember to Lord and thinking about him. But if you think that this world is for your own enjoyment, then we go to be bound in this material world. And I just what can I say? Gurudeva, I don't know. Well, sorry.
No, carry on. You
Time is
have
up?
about 7, 8 minutes still.
Okay.
Before you reach the 20-minute mark.
Okay. Yes. So, Gurudeva, he always tells that it's very rare to find, how is that verse? Basically I was telling, okay, Gurudev is the embodiment of service. I was speaking about it. Okay, so Gurudev is the embodiment of service, and everything. So even like sometimes Gurudev explained, even if Gurudev is like reading a newspaper or even speaking about anything in this world, that's why I gave the example of my mom. Some people who are not like strong in Tata Siddhanta, they might think, oh, he's like a normal person, he's like enjoying or something like that. That's why this verse is very important. What is it saying? Gurura bikriya jadi. Bikriya means like some strange activity. Deka hokokon, if suddenly you see Gurudev some strange activity, still, tatapi abhagya, never dishonor to him. Never, ever. So if your Guru is bona fide, of course, you'll always follow the conduct also, exactly to teach others and to prevent any kind of someone trying to imitate him or anything like that. But generally, like for example, Gurudev explains, even like Sanatana Goswami explains in Brihad Bhagavatam, the last chapter, the power of the pure devotee is so strong that even if you sit in front of them and listen to what they're saying, even though it's externally doesn't look like Harikatha, just sit in front of them, this is the topmost wealth. So what we learn from Gurudev, I think like the main teaching, of course, is like everything together, all the teachings of Krishna consciousness. But what I understand that for me was like the main teaching I understood from everything I heard is the best thing we can do with our time in this world, really, the best thing, best of the best, is just sit down in front of Gurudev and just be quiet and try to pay attention to what he's saying. And even if you cannot pay attention, just sit down in front of him. And even if you're sleeping, just sit down in front of him. Because, of course, he also says, of course, chant holy names also. Yeah, you need to serve. He always says that, but in the end, he's always coming. But without Harikatha, like this, without Harikatha, so here again and again he says, Harikatha is the only thing that can protect you. Because when Gurudev speaks Harikatha, this directly like transcendental vibration from the spiritual world, Shabda Brahma, and only this can destroy the layers and layers of materialism inside our hearts. So I think like how Gurudev is so merciful that he's like just giving Harikatha a whole day, like 3-4 hours per day to everyone. And nowadays, thank Lord, also there's like Facebook live streams, and we can, even from far, we can try to also follow his classes. And so Gurudev is always like serving again and again, like serving Lord, because he also gives example. If you love someone, you'll speak about him all the time. You like to hear about him. So Gurudev loves Krishna and Srimati Radhika, that's why he's always speaking about them. And this gives him life and happiness and rest, everything. And when he speaks about them, in this way, he's also establishing Krishna and Srimati Radhika in our hearts. Shranatan Satakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtanam, right? And then another point, also, I like, for example, when we are with Gurudev, Gurudev is always serving a whole day, but I remember, like, for example, when we are with Gurudev in temples, for example, in Brazil, Shegoravani Gauria Mart, or in Malaysia also, Mohan Prabhuji, also we've been there with him, how he's serving a whole day, whole night, and all of us like behind trying to catch up with him. And he's like doing everything since morning Mangalarati, breakfast. He's even in Malaysia, those who were, many devotees were there with him. He's even going to the kitchen, arranging breakfast, coming back, Harikatha. And then after taking prasad, he's going book seva with Anand Mohan Prabhu, Radhakanti Didi, Rajabala Didi also in the past, and doing book seva, like how to print books. Because this is the real Vani Seva also, of course, printing books, very important, Brihad Mridanga Seva. And then he's correcting books all the time. Then finally, okay, now prasadam, lunch prasadam. Then he's also coming to the kitchen and cooking many subjects, jackfruit. Oh, not only that, before that, he's climbing the jackfruit tree, right? With the help of someone, climbing the chico tree. One time, really, I woke up from just, like afternoon, I'm like falling asleep, terrible. When I wake up, Gurudev is like literally almost on the chico tree, like really on the tree, on the wall. I'm like, oh my God. Then maybe you remember, Gurudev fell down. Do you remember one time he fell down, he hurt his toe, bleeding. And because he went on top of the tree to take those chicos, this chico, to offer to God, to Krishna, and to take the jackfruit to cook, and also to cook for Mahaprabhu. And also he planted himself the jackfruit tree. There's another jackfruit tree that was Srila Maharaj planted by him. So they was comparing, this tree I planted like this. And then, okay, this prasadam time. Then we took prasadam, everyone. Now go to rest. So we are still resting. Then when we wake up many times, everyone is sleeping. Like, okay, 3 p.m. suppose everyone is taking rest. And then they wake up. Gurudev is already in the garden doing some other thing, taking the banana tree, cleaning the banana tree, putting in another place and replanting the trees because I want this garden needs to take care and cutting everything, gardening basically. And then, okay, you think he's done? Okay, no. And then after some time, what? Every day because the leaves are falling. So there's a Pushpa Samadhi of Parangurudev, Shalnarayan Goswami Maharaj. You need to clean, of course. Leaves are falling. You need to sweep. So we should sweep every day. But he himself, Gurudev, sweeping every day and teaching. You need to sweep this. And then, of course, after some days, we understood. Then we started to sweep also other devotees. But Gurudev sweeping every day. And you think it's enough? No. And then at Sandhya before Arati, means twilight time, what Gurudev is doing, he's taking care of the tulasis. So he was going to the garden again and again, taking the tulasi, planting, replanting, cutting, arranging like a garden in the tulasis also. Okay, then finally, now he's got to go, Arati, Harikatha, Prasadam, like this. And then take rest, and next day again. And then like this, Gurudeva is teaching us and giving us so much beautiful examples and love all the time. Like I think devotee spoke so much about how Gurudeva so merciful to all of us and gives so much love and through chastisement, through inspiration, everything according to our needs. And I think my time is up. No.
If you're okay.
Okay. So
20 minutes.
10 minutes. Okay. So
not 20 more minutes, but 20 minutes is up.
20 minutes. Yes. Okay. And then so
Hare Krishna, Didi.
Haribo, Prabhu. You'll speak after?
Danva, Didi. Didi, you speak.
Hare Krishna.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
no, sorry. No, you please.
No. If you want to conclude.
Conclude. Okay.
If you want.
Yeah. So basically I want to say how Gurudev is the embodiment of service. Krishna Seva Murta Vigraha. So Gurudev is again and again telling us this. And again, Gurudev always tells us also that we hear about like qualities of bona fide guru, but who is a bona fide disciple? I think devotees have already spoken about that. And actually, it's so beautiful. I think many of you have seen how Gurudev, I came in 2011, so I never met Parangurudev. But with time now, like 10 years have passed, or 12, 30. And anyway, we see how good, slowly, because like, for example, some people met, but slowly we see Gurudev's opulence growing more and more. Like those, like when Krishna Jivani Didi and other devotees from Brazil told how it was in the beginning in Brazil, like he could travel only by bus, who would pay the ticket, something like that, by train, by a flight. But now Gurudev is traveling by flights, sometimes business class, also his servant, also going everywhere now with him. Like slowly, Like now, so many like brahmacharis also of Gurudev, his own disciples. Now also this Kartik Chub sannyasis also like this, like slowly, more and more like this growing. At that time, even sometimes I explain, like I didn't even know Gurudev was my Gurudev when I took initiation. No one would call him Gurudev. I didn't even, like nobody told me he was Guru even, like, you know, like I couldn't understand anything. But slowly, Gurudev himself explained everything. I gave you Diksha mantra, I'm your Guru, like this, and I understood because at that time was so delicate a situation after the departure of Param Gurudev, and now we can see Gurudev's opulence growing more and more. And I think Gurudev, he's happy with us if we are loyal to him, one-pointed to him, giving honor to all Vaishnavas, but just always with him. And one teaching also that Gurudeva always gives is our surrender, right? So basically, I know I'm very far from this, Gurudeva. I know I'm far, but still I'll speak about it. Is that what is the surrender? Is that whatever you do, you ask Guru. He always tell us. That's why Gurudev mercifully has a Skype account. All of you know, Gmail. This is so transcendentally beautiful, you know, like you can contact Gurudev by a message, a text message, and you can ask and he will give answer, maybe silent, maybe answer, many different kinds of answer. But so surrender means to follow Gurudev, his instructions. And in this way, our life will be successful. And I just pray to Gurudeva and to all of you to bless me, because this is for me is very far. That's why I was discussing about bona fide disciple. Bona fide disciple is someone who, Shisha means someone who accepts the chastisement of Guru and his instructions. So he surrendered, like Arjuna says, right? The Shupahata Sabhava, Prichamtam Varva Samuda Cheta, Shishasteham Shaditomam Prapanam. I'm all Krishna, I'm your disciple. Whatever you do, I'll follow. So surrender. So I just pray that to please bless me, all of you. Gurudeva, of course, please bless me that one day I can just be able to become like that. What? A bona fide disciple, surrendered, giving up my independent desires or independent anything, like just wanting to complete faith and surrender. And in this way, my life will be successful. Please, this is my prayer. Jai Srila Gurudev ki jai.
Jai Srila Gurudev ki jai.
Vancha kalpataru bhishaka pasundabhya vacha. Patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavyo namo namah.
Thank you very much, Tarani. Gopi Didi. You've given us so much in a very condensed form, and so much of Gurudev's glories are there, like his 24 hours, never wastes a second. And I'm sure even when he's resting, he's in his Swarup and dreaming of Radha and Krishna. I have this faith. So yes, and with more of his responsibilities now that his Sangha is growing, it's expanding. So we all have a contribution to make in that, but very important to remember that when the Sangha expands, that sometimes we may get left on the edges. And once Gurudev asked these questions, what will happen if I give more attention to somebody else than I will give to you? Then he left it as an open question for us to think about. I think telling us what will be in the future, he has indicated that yes, the Sangha will expand, things will grow, and as we can see, it already is. It's taking on more responsibility with parikram, with management and guiding our Gurudev, Param Gurudev's institution, so to speak, and so much responsibility is there. And I've seen in Navadip Parikram, he sleeps about 1 hour, if at all that, you know, so, and then going straight into Mangalarti. He never misses Mangalarti, and he's always there. You know, this is touching some of his glories. But thank you very much for your realizations. I wanted to ask one very question that sometimes Indian devotees, they ask of Westerners, although we shouldn't identify with the body, but we ask sometimes, what is it about the Western devotees that they can sacrifice so much and they give so much that they cannot themselves do? How would you answer that question as a Westerner?
Yeah, I think what happens is that sometimes Indians, they are already in contact with the reality of God and Krishna consciousness from birth. They have some idea of that and they think they know already, you know, like something. But for Westerns, like for me, I was searching the Supreme Absolute Truth, and I had no idea that the name of Supreme Absolute Truth was Krishna, and the goal of my life was like, okay, follow Bhakti and achieve Prem, love for God. I have no idea of this. And that like the Vedic scriptures explain how God is, what's he doing, how is his abode, which cloth he wears, and who are his friends. I never imagined this in my life. So when I heard this, and of course, Gurudev gives mercy, like Gurudev explained, that day so beautifully, Gurudev told, even the Prabhuji, when Prabhuji, he made that video in Houston, and the devotee just came and said, Gurudev, right? He said, Mahaprabhu, he was giving prem to everyone just by darshan, and even Param Gurudev, Srila Goswami Maharaj, I mean, but we are not getting this prem. And then Gurudev said, how come you're not getting this prem? Like, you were here until now. Gurudev looked at you once, and you're here until now. What do you think is this? So Gurudev always says, never say, it's not happening. It's not happening. Bhakti is not happening in me. Gurudev said, never say that. You just planted the tree, the seed, and you're like asking for the fruit again and again. It's not, never think that. You should always, with so much faith, Gurudev gave me the seed of Bhakti. He planted this tree in my heart. I need to continue again and again, hearing Harikatha, chanting holy names like this, nourishing, and the fruit will come. It's happening. But so who is giving this prem? Of course, Gurudev. But prem is what? The least portion of prem is Shraddha, right? So prema will come after, of course, but now the seed growing, then fruit of prema will come. But the seed is already there, which is Gurudev. He's giving mantra, initiation to us. So I just think for Westerners, we never had any idea about this. So of course, by mercy of Gurudev, of course, when we met Gurudev, initiation, and of course, Utsahamayi, so much enthusiasm coming. And this seems so different from all the Western realities. Another world, right? Krishna consciousness, if you think about it, comparing to the Western kind of mentality. So I think that's why they dedicate. And I think because of Westerners also, they tend, especially nowadays, so many broken families are there. So many like different people in society. Some people want to be hippies, some people this and that. So like they want to break with the system. So whenever they dedicate completely, like they, for example, go live in a temple, completely dedicate, because they're not attached also maybe to the materialistic, system or something like that. They want to already do something different. Whereas Indians, sometimes they have like that life, something like this. They think they already know all of this for a long time, all this story, like Hindu mythology. So maybe, but of course, with so many Indians also, they got, by the mercy of Gurudev, then they have this supreme faith. Only Bhakti is enough, Bhakti to Shri Krishna. Then they also surrender. But I think for Westerners, mainly this. There are so many Westerners, they're searching so much, not satisfied with the system, and just want something, searching for the truth, not knowing where to find. And we don't know anything about Vedic culture here, right?
Okay.
I think that's
Thank you, Didi. That's kind of gives the example of the dry grass. When grass is very dry, it can light up very quickly. It can ignite very quickly. So that's a nice illustration of that point. Thank you for speaking today. We hope to hear more of you in the coming days if you'd like to come on again. You have so much to say and so much to give. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. So I'd like to move on to Taran Krishna Prabhu, who's from UK, from a Jewish background, actually. I think he was born here in this country, if I'm not mistaken, and also a young disciple of Srila Gurudev's, but very enthusiastic. Gurudev's always very happy to see him, and he looks forward to seeing him dance particularly. And when Taran Krishna Prabhu dances, Gurudev's got a big smile on his face. And so it really kind of brings to life what his realizations, I feel, of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's spreading the mission to every corner of this world and seeing all the different nations of the world dancing to Mahaprabhu's Nam Sankirtan. So without much ado, thank you, Taran Krishna Prabhu. If you'd like to share with us your glorification, it would be really appreciated.
Hi, Haribol. Thank you so much for having me. It's nice to see you. Om Timarandasya Dhyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Militam Jena Tasmei Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Gaura Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Vanaiti Namine Namo Vishnu Padaya Radhikaya Priyamane Shishimad Bhaktivedanta Narayaneti Namine Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Vanchakalpa Trubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So before speaking, I want to offer my Dandavat pranams unto the lotus feet of our dearmost Gurudev on Vishnu Pada Stotra Sata Shri Shrimad Bhaktivedanta Van Goswami Maharaj, to the lotus feet of our Param Gurudevs, Nitya Lila Pravishta Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, and Nitya Lila Pravishta Sri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj, to the lotus feet of Nitya Lila Pravishta Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, to the lotus feet of all our Rupanuga, Gaudiya Guru Varg, who are all giving us mercy, and to all Vaishnavas, Vaishnavis, and all those present, and especially to those organizers who, to organize these kinds of things, it's not a simple service. There's so many different things, and to host, and so thank you. My gratitude to yourself and Mohan Prabhu, and to Shyam Prabhu, and to, I'm sure, many others who are doing really nice work. And I felt so inspired listening to some of these again, and felt inspired to speak. And there's so much to speak. Even someone like me who has had not nearly as much association as some of these other devotees who have spoken in past days and today, there's still so much to speak about Gurudev. I want to try and focus on the mercy he's giving, and mercy personally that I feel I know I've received since day one. And on that subject, I want to thank those who encouraged me to come and speak, because part of me didn't really want to come and speak. I don't really feel very qualified to come online and speak the glories of Gurudev, but I was thinking about it again. I was thinking, this is perhaps the most auspicious thing a person could do, is come and speak the glories of their Gurudev. So I just want to thank Damodar Prabhu, who Gurudev has directly sent me, to help me so much in my bhakti, and Shyam Prabhu also encouraging me, and also Nitai Prabhu, such a dear friend, who also said, when are you going to speak? So I was like, okay. So I wanted to thank him. So there's so much to speak on, and so I made a list. I'm going to try and get through and see what I can accomplish in 15 minutes. But so I said mercy since day one. I could speak about like how I came to Gurudev, but I sort of spoke about that last year. And I'm sure I'll speak about it again in the future. But I didn't really want, because there's so much to speak about, I'm not really going to touch on that. But when I think near the start of my bhakti, one way that Gurudev really gave mercy was through his Harikatha, and he's giving so much mercy through his Harikatha, but especially these two things that he emphasized in his Harikatha, because he was emphasizing Sadhu Sangha and Harikatha itself, or Harikatha himself. Because he was making so much emphasis on this quickly became ingrained that this is so important, that we must take Sadhu Sangha, we must hear Harikatha. So me not knowing anything, just these 2 points just were sort of imprinted on my brain. Maybe nothing else, just Sadhu Sangha and Harikatha. So anytime the sadhus were visiting, and obviously this is before COVID, so there was like, not not just our Gurudev, but Shripad Siddhanti Maharaj, Shripad Madhav Maharaj, and many other sannyasis from our Sangha. So anytime, because I'd heard Sadhu Sangha so much, and I was new, I was like, oh, I want to follow. I was going, and I was trying to hear as much Hari Katha as possible. And because of that, I got, I was able to learn and imbibe some things. So that was how Gurudev was giving mercy, so much mercy at the start of my bhakti. And I remember then there was a brief period where he went away, where I hadn't seen him for 6 months, and then he came back, and then he was in Brighton, and it was the first time I saw him in 6 months, and he was giving, I think at Mohini Didi's house, he was giving some short Hari Katha, and he was saying, Sadhu Sangha is Hari Katha. So he combined these 2 points together. I was thinking about these 2 points for a while, he combined them. He was saying, Sadhu Sangha is not taking prasad and leaving. Sadhu Sangha is sitting and hearing the Katha of the Sadhu. And yeah, so Gurudev speaks such beautiful Katha, as we all know, but as well, he doesn't just glorify Krishna, he glorifies Krishna Katha as well. He speaks such sweet Katha about Krishna Katha as well. So when he's done speaking about Krishna, he'll speak about Krishna, which is something that if you're not a Hare Krishna devotee, like, just doesn't really make a lot of sense. But you all know how it is, like, and it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. He has so much joy, not just speaking about Krishna, but speaking about Krishna. And in this way, he's encouraging us to speak about Krishna and Radharani and the Vaishnavas and Nityananda and Gaurachandra. So yeah, my next point was like the fortune that he bestowed upon me to go to Vrindavan. Through many different devotees, like many different devotees encouraged me, but like through him and through his Katha, and eventually when I went to Vrindavan, so much mercy was there. I was so fortunate to be able to go for a month. Like I see his hand in everything, because like Ananga Mohan Prabhu mentioned, I come from a Jewish background. I'm living at home currently. My family's like relatively religious. We're celebrating Hanukkah right now, and my family, not, especially my father, bless him, he's very righteous. With Judaism, if you're Jewish, don't want you to be anything else, and want you to be Jewish. I still consider myself Jewish. Of course, I am Jewish, but I'm also very much a Hare Krishna as well. But somehow, my parents gave me the money to buy flight tickets and go to Vrindavan. So all of these like little things happen. But yeah, I just wanted to tell this one story of like how he gave me some mercy, which was I kind of got sick, and then like it was like a few days afterwards, I was still recovering. And he was giving Hari Katha outside his room, and we were all singing. And when he came, I managed to get a seat near the front. We were all singing. He came, we stood up. Some very enthusiastic disciple sort of got in, like, because everyone, as he was moving to the front, took my seat. Now, in English culture, like, if anyone pushes in the queue, you kind of give them a dirty look. You give them like evil eyes, like you're like you just give them a bad look. Yeah. Anyway, I just gave her like like harumphed or something at her, and I was like, just gave her some look. And then like straight afterwards, because I'm obviously in the presence of Gurudev. When you're in the presence of Gurudev, you're much more self-aware. I was like, Tarun, like, what was that about? Like, why are you just like giving some like random, like young, enthusiastic Brazilian devotee like this death stare? Like, what's your problem? Like, why are you being so proud? So I kind of felt a bit bad about it. And then halfway through the Qatar, Gurudev, I think maybe some people are even there, maybe some people will vaguely remember this, like Gurudev, I think, speaking about names, and then he's like, Tarun Krishna, what's your name? And then I was like thinking, Tarun Krishna, and then like before, like he was like, no, you're Tarun Krishna Das, and everyone started laughing, including including the disciple in front of me. And I was like, oh, this is like, now I feel like but I was so pleased because I was like, in that way, like, I, you know, cause some offense to this like very sort of, you know, sweet disciple. And in that way, Gurudev sort of arranged that he blessed everything, but also showed me, you know, Das, because he doesn't really call us Das very often. You know, like I hear Gurudev call me Tarun Krishna Prabhu, like, or Tarun Krishna, but it's not like often Prabhu, and it's like slightly baffling. But like in that moment, he said, no, you're Tarun Krishna Das. So it's very sweet. And, you know, and always like, in quite a few times he showed me, no, I actually know you better than yourself. So many times he's like asking me like, what is your name? What is your name? Da, 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 da. But then in that moment he'll show you, no, I know your name better than you know it, you know, and I gave you this name, and you are Tarun Krishna Das. And don't forget you are Das. Like, so yeah, that was very beautiful. And how long do I have? You're on mute. I can't hear you.
You have 12 minutes, Tarun Prabhu.
I have 12 minutes left.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, great.
You can.
Do
you need more?
No, that's good. I thought I had like 2 minutes left. Okay. I lost track of the time. Okay, good. I have 12 minutes left. Okay, that's fine. Okay, good. Okay. So then I wanted to speak something really beautiful that happened with Gurudev this year. So I'm sure that the case with many of us, we didn't get to see Gurudev for a long time because of the restrictions and everything, Gurudev not traveling. And I hit some really low points during the lockdown in terms of my bhakti. You know, I think I managed to go like 2 weeks without chanting any rounds, something like that, like so at certain points. But like my bhakti really like sort of dipped. It was crazy actually. Like I came right back from Mayapur, and then I was in that suburb of Delhi. What's this, with Radha Madhav Gaudiya Mat, with Madhav Priya Prabhu. I think it was Madhav Priya Prabhu. I was there for a few days. I came right back from there, like to Faridabad. That's it, exactly. And 2 days I was chanting so much, and then third day, everything gone. Like just without that association, I folded so quickly. So it was really hard. But even in those depths, like I realized like, wow, like Gurudev's never gonna leave me. And you know, amidst those depths, sometimes when I could go outside, I'd go outside and sit in my garden and chant. And in my garden, there's this big banana tree. Somehow in London, this like big banana tree has grown like really like 20-foot high leaves in the summer. Like even bananas grew like last year or something, like tiny ones, like you couldn't eat them. But in London it's crazy. But like I just come from Navadweep, so like seeing the banana tree was just such a like reminder of Navadweep. So I would sit by the banana tree and like pray. Like one day, like even though like I feel so bereft and so distant from Gurudev and the Vaishnavas, I prayed like one day, like that he could come to my home here and speak Harikatha, and that all of the Vaishnavas can come. And as we know, Sri Guru fulfills all desires. So earlier this year, with the help of so many other devotees, he came, and we spent like, there were like 6 devotees, and they were cooking in the kitchen for 4 hours, and we cooked so much prasad. And it was the first, I was so fortunate because my parents were away, and it would definitely couldn't have done it if my parents weren't away. And I was just going away the next day, and it was the first day Gurudev had come here for over 2 years. There's all of these senior devotees from our Sangha in the UK had come, and he just like came. And, you know, also some of my friends who, you know, never really been to a Hare Krishna program before, and he just gave so much mercy on that day. And like, you know, and one of my friends, she took Harinam as well at my house. And it was just like the most beautiful thing. So Gurudev like fulfills all our desires in such a sweet, sweet way. So yeah, just that was some really special mercy that time. And another way he's given me mercy, because Gurudevs can't be physically present with us all the time unless you're Krishna Balaram Prabhu. I jest, but yeah. But he, he's given me since day one like so much nice association. Like fortunately I was living with in Brighton, so I was able to see Ananga Mohan Prabhu and Yamuna Didi like very often when I was living there, and amongst many other devotees. I could be here for a long time, but I have heard like that we can't see what adhikar someone is that's beyond our adhikar. I've heard this. So as someone who is pre-kanishta, I cannot even really perceive anything. So sometimes I've had very auspicious moments, but and I call Gurudev a sadhu, but it's somewhat disingenuous sometimes because I don't really fully know. But Gurudev has given this mercy to have this faith, but also he's given the mercy through giving me this association of so many senior devotees, like very senior devotees who have spoken such sweet glorification of him. I've heard many different stories here and there. And that's the other thing about Gurudev. Like another sign of the sadhu is that he is a friend to all living entities. And you go all over, you speak to the most senior disciples of Param Gurudev, Srila Narayan Maharaj, and they're speaking so fondly of him. And then sometimes you go to ISKCON, and then some ISKCON devotee, he's like, yeah, oh yes, out of those sannyasis, Bon Maharaj is my favorite, like such like this. He just like anyone who meets him, he inspires this love in their heart. But also like, yeah, hearing these stories from senior devotees. I remember there's one very senior devotee, Sangha, she does so much seva, and she was saying like she was with him in Brazil. It's a long time ago, and he was giving like initiation to so many new people who just had no idea what was going on. And she was thinking like why is he doing this? Like these people obviously like have no clue. They're gonna go off and like continue to eat meat. And then like he like at the moment he walked straight past her, and he said like he turned to her and he said, just like, which I'm sure you guys have heard, but in this specific moment he said it just unprompted. He said, just like the expert fisherman, when he throws his rod and catches the fish may struggle for a long time and swim here and there. Eventually the fisherman reels him in. So I'm like that. So, and she dropped down and offered her pranams. And another story that I heard from another senior devotee was taking prasadam with Gurudev, and he said, and Gurudev said, when you're done taking prasad, there's one person sitting down, and he explained exactly where they were sitting. Go downstairs and ask them if they want to take Harinam. And he went downstairs and he talked to this woman, and this woman like was shocked. And she was like, how did you know I want to take Harinam? And she had found Gurudev independently. She traveled to London all the way from Poland, and she came here to take Harinam, but she had told no one. But Gurudev sent, it was Ramananda Prabhu, sent Ramananda Prabhu, and Ramananda Prabhu was like, I don't know, I just got told. So, yeah. So in this way, like Gurudev's, he's giving so much mercy.
Okay, we got.
Is that, can I just make my final point?
Yeah, sure.
So my final point is, like, we're talking about Guru Nishta, and our Gurudev is, as far as I've seen, like such an incredible embodiment of Guru Nishta. He has so much affection for all of you. You can see on his face, he has so much joy when he sees his god brothers and god sisters, like in this, you know, seeing them. He has so much love for those who have love for his Gurudev. His life is solely led by Guru Nishta, that he was the first one sent out by his Gurudev to travel and preach in 97, and that he's been going for so long is just the most obvious like example of Guru Nishta. So we are so fortunate to have such a Gurudev who embodies Guru Nishta in such a sweet and dedicated and unwavering way. And yeah, more points I could make, but I don't want to take too much time, so I want to say thank you once again. Vancha kalpa trubhyascha
Thank you so much, Taran Krishna Prabhu. Such a nice illustration with stories of Gurudev's magic that he does. He knows, he sees us when he sits on the Vyasas, and he sees everything and everyone. We only see him. But he's got eyes everywhere, and he sees us, and he sees through us as well. He knows our hearts, and we have this faith in him, and that's the nice sambandha relationship. And if we hold on to this faith, then our relationship can develop more and more stronger, and the sweetness increases. So, wonderful example of the banana tree. Where would you find a banana tree in London that grows bananas? Incredible, in your garden. So you're blessed from however long that banana tree has been there, probably before the time you were born. I don't know. So you're blessed. Yeah, so I'm just making some notes of what you said, and only an Uttamadhikari knows an Uttamadhikari. We cannot know Shri Guru from where I am, certainly, and Gurudev comes to us. Really, or he attracts us, he brings us to him somehow or another, which indirectly is that he himself comes to us. Of course, he's traveling so many millions of miles to be with us, and that's his glory as well, sacrificing so many things. But we definitely, as I definitely don't have the eyes to see a pure devotee because I'm not pure. It's only by their mercy that we can get this. So there's some very nice points. Wonderful thing about the contradiction, your first point about Krishna and Krishna Katha. Really, it's the same thing. Talking about Krishna and Krishna Katha is it's a reconciliation in itself. But to ask this question is quite interesting as well. And there were some very nice points in that. I hope that's been reconciled now, that Krishna and Krishna Katha is the same thing, just like the holy name and Krishna is the same. And sometimes even more powerful. Harikatha is more powerful than Krishna in itself, because that's what really comes into our hearts through the medium of Sri Guru, the pure devotee, and that cleans our heart. Then Krishna comes and sits there. So it's very wonderful. Thank you again. Hope to hear your other points soon. Thank you. मुझे माफ कीजिए सब हिंदी भक्तों के लिए, मैंने मेरा काम ठीक से नहीं किया, क्योंकि मैं हिंदी में आपके सबको बता नहीं पाया जो सब भक्तों ने क्या क्या बोला है। लेकिन थोड़ा समरी में मैं साधु संघ के बारे में बताऊंगा कि सब भक्त साधु संघ, हरि नाम और सेवा, गुरु निष्ठा, गुरु भक्ति की महिमा के सुनाया हमको, उनकी खुद ही जीवन का एग्जाम्पल सभी ने बताया उनके हृदय के बाद। तो मुझे माफ कीजिए, मेरा हिंदी इतना अच्छा नहीं है, फिर मैं कोशिश करता हूँ आपके आशीर्वाद से और मेरा हिंदी ठीक हो जाएंगे, बढ़ जाएंगे और लोग उसमें कुछ बेनिफिट लेंगे। तो next speaker is another quite famous personality, Ananda Pradayini Devi Dasi, who's from Russia. I hope she's there. Thank you very much for joining us today. And I don't know really how to introduce her, just like one of Gurudev's very darling daughters and very dear to him. for many reasons. She's because of her service, of course, her service attitude, her service mood, and this is what Gurudev is pleased with. So if we can please Gurudev with our service attitude, then we can progress in our bhakti. And Ananda Pradayani Didi has done that very nicely through her own qualifications of her artwork, as we know, that are in Gurudev's books. So she also hosts many programs in Russia, hosts many devotees, and she's always, I know, in touch with many devotees to bring them closer to Gurudev, and she has been the instrument of bringing many such souls to Gurudev's lotus feet, and continues that service even till today. So without much ado, thank you, Ananda Pradayani Didi, for joining us, and please share with us your offering today. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so
Dhanyavad.
much, Mangamohan Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Dhanyavad.
Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yana Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Vandeham Bhakti-chakoram Gauranga-nijaprishtitam Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Vanam Namastubhyam Shri Radha-kanishtitam Rasayana Kathamritam Sankirtanam Ananda-dham Goswaminam Vanam Namaham Namayom Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Van Narayan Goswami Itinamine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta-vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. First of all, I offer my heartfelt, humble obeisances to the lotus feet of my dear Srila Gurudev, Om Vishnupata Shtatarashat Shishimad Bhaktivedanta Vana Goswami Maharaj, and to my dear Param Gurudevas Nitya Lila Pravishna Vishnupata Shtatarashat Shishimad Bhaktivedanta Srila Vamana Goswami Maharaj, and to Srila Nitya Lila Pravishna Vishnupata Shtatarashat Shishimad Bhaktivedanta Srila Narayana Goswami Maharaj, and to all Rupanuga Guru Varga, to all Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis, to all senior devotees, to all uncles, aunties, my dear brothers and sisters, and all Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's family, please accept my humble obeisances, as much humble as I can express. Dandavats to all. And I would like to say thank you so much for organizing this amazing glorification festival of Srila Gurudev, so many days. And devotees told that it will be up to New Year. And actually 1 week ago, it was Vyasa Puja of our dear most Srila Gurudeva, Srila Bhaktivedanta Vana Goswami Maharaj. And this is really a duty of real disciple to make Vyasa Puja every day. It's not only one day. Like sometimes Gurudeva explaining what means puja, like Vyasa Puja. Why this day is called like this. Like Vyasa means Vyasadev Goswami, who is a literal avatar of Lord. But actually all real gurus, they are also Vyas. Like Vyasa is who making union of Jiva and God himself. So all real gurus, they are also Vyas. And I think Radhakanti Didi, she posted one Harikatha about like what is Vyasasana and who can sit on Vyasasana, like a real representative of Vyas, Lord himself, who can really glorify Lord and his abode, his qualities, his names, his associates, and etc. And puja means like a simple meaning, it's to worship. Like on the day of Vyasa Puja, it's a duty of the disciple to arrange nice Vyasa Puja for his guru, like nice program, glorification program, and also offer incense, fire, like giviks, and other paraphernalia, especially flowers, But Vaishnavas explaining what is the deep meaning of the word puja. Puja means to fulfill the inner desire of Shri Guru, like try to understand his heart, to touch his heart and fulfill his heart. And the real Vyasa Puja, it's also following the instructions of Shri Guru. And it should be not only one day, it should be like Vyasa Puja of Shri Guru should be every day. And by the mercy of devotees, we can see that Vyasa Puja, Gurudev's Glorification Festival, is going on every day. And I'm so happy. I think Harikatha and glory of Shri Guru, Srila Gurudeva is the most pleasant sound for me. And also I'm so happy to see all Vaishnavas, all devotees, and these faces, these names, it's like udipanas for me always, even for of those who I never saw, some disciples of Gurudeva in America, in some European countries. But sometimes we can see them on Facebook and how they associate with Gurudeva, how they serve to Gurudeva. And I'm always very, very happy to see all of you, to hear from all of you. And I don't know, like to tell about, like, it can be, we can speak a lot about Gurudeva, different topics, because Gurudeva's glorification is not limited, unlimited. And sorry for my English, please, because it's not my mother's language. Just try to understand as much as possible. Like, I'm so sorry for this, for my language. And while thinking about like what can I speak about my Srila Gurudeva, of course, like we can share many stories, how Gurudeva given mercy to us, how he's taking care of us, many things, like some personal like funny stories also, like with Tarun Krishna Prabhu told about how Gurudeva, he was joking with him, and also amazing story how Gurudeva told to that Prabhu to bring a lady who wanted to take Harinam. Like many examples of this. But also I was thinking, like we can see our Gurudeva, his amazing qualities, but also who he is really, like inside, like, and which message he wants to bring to us, like what is the like highest things which Gurudeva he wants to put in our hearts. And actually he already did it with the Harinam, with initiation of Gayatri mantras. He put the seed, but it should be revealed. And today I was thinking about Gurudeva, and I remembered one of the like amazing festivals for me with Srila Gurudeva. It was in 2014, I think, in Altai Mountains. Like maybe you heard this name of these mountains. It's like north of Russia, I think, like some near Siberia, this part. And Altai Mountains, it's like Indian Himalayas, like very pure and beautiful place. And Gurudeva, he was there for first time, but this festival was every year, but first time Gurudeva came there. And can you imagine, like, it's like it was some place amongst the mountains, and it was like just the beginning of autumn in Russia. And usually in that time it should be very cold, no, like nighttime it should be already cold because it's mountain area, but the weather was so nice. It was every day sunny, and all trees, they were like golden, not all, but some of them. And it's like pure air, like big towns very far. And I remember that time, and nearby also very big and beautiful river. Sometimes Gurudeva with Japa walk, he was going there just walking, and also on the way speaking Harikatha. And I remember the time, and actually every time with Gurudeva special and amazing, but that time for me very precious. Like not so much of us, like not so many disciples of Gurudeva at that time were So it was like not so big group. We were following of Gurudeva, and no limits, nothing. Like we could be with Gurudeva almost 24 hours. Can you imagine? In that area, its internet was very slow. So Gurudeva, he was not almost using a computer. So he was always outside, and we were waiting for Gurudeva just near his door. Gurudeva, he was living in some wooden house. And he went out, and like all devotees coming closer, and Gurudeva started to speak something, joke also, and speak some amazing instructions. And I remember at the time it was like a kind of intoxication, you know, like intoxication by love, like so much mercy from Gurudeva. Like we were feeling like we are his small kids, and now Gurudeva, and also all that area, it was like Vrindavan, and that river also so beautiful, so pure. And I remember and actually that time it was appearance year of Gurudeva's pranama mantras. And I remember when I first time saw those mantras, one Didi, she sent to me by email. And actually, that time it was no pranama mantras of Gurudeva. Like some Vaishnavas, they told like, oh, if you want, you can take any pranama mantra of any acharya, just replace the name of acharya and put your Gurudev name, and it was be like like any pranama mantra. And Gurudeva here, and we were praying to Gurudev, oh Gurudev, please anyhow reveal, we need this, because it's very important for a disciple to chant pranama mantras. Like without it, you cannot offer prasad. The first thing what we should do after waking up, it should be a prayer to Guru, but the best prayer is his pranama mantra. And that year, by Gurudeva's mercy, his pranama mantras appeared. And I even didn't know the exactly meaning, but they came to me by email, and I was just reading this verses, this Sanskrit shlokas. I was completely so much happiness, even more intoxication, oh, this is Gurudeva's glory. And actually, in Gurudeva's pranam mantras, we can see how glorious he is. Who he is in reality, not just beautiful, amazing, sadhu who is given a lot of harikatha, who can travel 24 hours and doing service 24 hours. Of course, it's transcendental qualities of a real Sadguru, but also who is he inside? From the beginning, I was always curious about this. I don't know why, because it's very high level topic. But I was always trying to pray, oh Gurudeva, please, who you are, how you look like. And Gurudeva, he's telling that actually in the beginning, when disciple, he's coming to a Sakti and Bhava stage, transcendental reality comes to him. And the first, what is revealing is Guru, he's given Ekadashi Bhav to disciples. So first sadhaka, he's realizing who he is, what his Svarupa, how he looks like, his eternal service, his eternal name, and etc. After Svarupa of his Guru, and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna, and in the end Radharani. This is what I heard from Srila Gurudeva. I hope I remembered properly this consequence. But for me, I don't know, of course, it's high level, and maybe because I'm not qualified and my heart full of anarthas still, I did not take this darshan, but I was always curious, how Gurudeva his looked like. I'm not so much interested in how I'm looking in spiritual, what is my Swarupa, but I was always thinking, and actually sometimes Srila Gurudev, he is given this mercy revealing, because all gurus of our Rupanuga Guru Varga, they all manjaris. And also I heard from senior devotees while Gurudeva he was living with his dear Srila Gurudev, Srila Narayana Goswami Maharaj in Mathura, devotees told that everybody called to our Gurudeva, like maybe not to face, but they always telling like, oh, Manjari, Manjari. And sometimes like Gurudeva, he's not hiding. I don't know, I hope it's not some Sahaja things, but it's really like amazing, like sometimes the movements of Gurudeva, his glances, his gentle nature, like revealing this, like who he is, and especially in his Harikatha, that all Banjaris, who is his worshipable deity and the goal of their service all his life is Shrimati Radhika. And whenever Harikatha Gurudeva would speak, like the main point and topic is of course glory of Shri Radha. And about pranam mantras of Srila Gurudeva, like very shortly, I would like to tell, like who Gurudeva he is, like of course, like needs realization for this, like the best realization is like your like how is Gurudeva telling this word swasam vidya dosha or not, like
Saswamvid dasha. Tadatmik, if you're looking for a similar word.
not Tadatmik, svanubhav. Taruni Didi, what's the word in Sanskrit or English also? If you're here.
For
Depends
what
what you,
again?
Like self-realization in Sanskrit.
Anubhuti.
Yeah, like svanubhuti, like sva means like
Anubhuti.
your, like
Yeah, your
self-realization.
own.
Yeah, but also just to understand this by mind is also important. Like we should never forget who Gurudeva is. Of course, it should be not an obstacle to associate with him, because Gurudeva, we see how he merciful to his disciples, and he's really arranging this relationship with us like a family member. So it's not so much distance and like so much close actually. And this is also very, very important. But also we should know and first like who Gurudeva he is, like according like Tattva Siddhanta, and by Guru's mercy also one day to realize according Rasa Siddhanta who he is, how glorious our Srila Gurudev. And also I remember the words of Srimati Savita Didi. Maybe you heard her glorification also that day, I think 2 years ago in 2020, Savita Didi, Srimati Uma Didi, Uttam Krishna Prabhu, they were speaking about Gurudev's glory. And I remember how like many times she told like, you don't know who your Gurudev is, like you don't know like how he's glorious, like what the personality he is, like and I was very amazed, like oh like yes, but like why is she so boldly telling this like so many times, and this like was like an impression in my heart. And like Gurudeva's pranam mantras, like of course like very simple. Like Vandeham Bhakti Chakaram, like I offer my obeisances to Bhakti Chakor. We know that Gurudeva he had this title from Srila Narayana Goswami Maharaj. It was like a tradition. Shri Guru Acharya, he was given a special title to his like special brahmacharis, and the title which our Gurudeva got, it was Bhakti Chakor. And when I heard first time is like I think it's so sweet, so amazing. And like what is the meaning? Like Chakora is a bird who can drink only moonlight raises. Yes. And also like Bhakti Chakor means who is only like taking special sweet raises of Bhakti. But also sometimes Gurudeva, he, how to say, like hinting on the inner meaning of this also, like remembering Srimangala Gita. There is one a sentence there, like Shri Radha Mukha Chakoram. And it refers to Krishna, who is always drinking moonlight rays, which is coming from moonlight face of Shrimati Radhika. And I think it's also can be inquired to our Srila Gurudev, who is always drinking mercy and beauty of moonlight face of Shrimati Radhika, her his Ishtadevi, like mistress. Gauranga Nija Preshtitam, like our Shri Guru and Srila Gurudev, he is one of the most dearest and nearest to Lord Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And we can see how Gurudeva, he is preaching, how he is glorifying Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, how he dear to him. And also Gurudeva's his own Thakurji. We know this beautiful Mahaprabhu, which is in Rio temple now. And I remember, like, when I first time took his darshan in reality by Gurudev's mercy, like 1 year ago, I was in Brazil, in Rio, and we came together with Indumati Didi from Russia also, and we came to, like, very close to him, and just watching him, like this beautiful Thakurji, and his earring, like, fall down exactly that moment. And we felt like, oh, it's like some kind of like mercy or some sign from this amazing Thakurji, like Gurudeva's heart, this Thakurji Mahaprabhu. And we know still he's there in Rio temple because, of course, very difficult to travel with him. He's a big Thakurji made of neem. But also Gurudeva always remember him and also given presents to him, some ornaments and beautiful things. And there are some pictures how Gurudeva dressing him with so much love and affection. And Mahaprabhu, it is a combined form of Shri Radha and Krishna. And Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Vanam Namastubhyam. Like I offer my obeisances, like I offer myself to Shilavana Goswami Maharaj. And the next, Shiradhai Nishtitam. Like this is what I already told, like everybody knows, like how amazing Harikatha of our Srila Gurudev. And also this mood came from his Srila Gurudeva, Srila Nitya-lila Pravishnu Shnupata, Shto Zarashat Shishmat Bhaktivedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj. It's actually speciality of our Sangha. Some our senior Vaishnavas who like really knows Vaishnava Tattva Siddhanta and other Gaudiya Matas like Shrimati Uma Didi, she many times told that such Harikatha as we can hear in our Sangha, we cannot hear anywhere else. Of course, Vaishnavas, they like very high level Vaishnavas, they know all Tattva Siddhanta, all Rasa Siddhanta, but the way how our Vaishnavas, especially our Srila Gurudev and Srila Param Gurudeva, they explaining these very high level topics, especially about the glory of Shrimati Radharani, it's very unique. And also as our Gurudev, as Srila Param Gurudev, our Srila Gurudev also, on which topic he would not say, it can be like Madhurya Kadambini, like levels of bhakti, or like some like Anartha Nivriti Katha, some Tattva Siddhanta. In the end or in the middle somewhere, Gurudeva, he always includes some glorification of Shrimati Radhika and her sweet pastimes. And it's amazing. Like when we hear this, it's the best medicine for our soul. Like this special, amazing Harikatha of Srila Gurudeva. Rasayana Kathamritam. This topic, I think all devotees, they spoke a lot, like how Gurudeva's Harikatha is amazing and sweet, and how Gurudeva, he is observing during Harikatha. And like Rasayana Kathamritam, like full of ras, like Gurudeva telling that the goal of life is to meet Vrajarasika Vaishnava and to listen Harikatha from him and to serve him. And like, especially Vrajarasika Vaishnava, whose heart is full of ras. Gurudeva given an example like rasagula, which you can take in your hand. And it's like some juice of this nectarian sugar, sweet, amazing fragrance coming from this rasagula and hearts of pure devotees. As our Srila Gurudev is like this, and he's distributing this, putting just inside of hearts of all jivas to whom, who are listening to his Harikatha. Sankirtanam Ananda Dham. Like Gurudeva, he's always observing in Sankirtan also, like how big, amazing kirtans and Kirtana festivals he's arranging, like big Ratha Yatra in Brazil or in Berlin. And with this Sankirtanam, Gurudeva, he's immersed all devotees in the like Ananda, in full of bliss, and bringing them to Ananda Dham, land of bliss, like a spiritual world. I remember like first years Gurudeva came to Russia. In Russia, you know, it's cold country, and like people here, they like nice spiritual devotional, but like they not so open, you know, like Brazilian devotees. They are like, oh, like Gurudeva, he's so much happy, like when he just trying to sing that, like first like Hare, like all hands up, and like everybody started to dance immediately. But in Russia, like some like people, they shy, maybe cold country, cold hearts. And Gurudeva, like he tried after Harikatha to arrange some kirtan. Like one quality of our Srila Gurudeva, he's not only amazing Harikatha speaker, but amazing kirtaniya also. Like I'm very missing Gurudev's kirtan while we're in India, because they are usually like more another brahmacharis, they like brahmacharis they singing, but I'm very missing how Gurudeva arranging kirtanas, huge sankirtanas in Western countries. How is amazing. And one time after Harikatha, Gurudeva started kirtan, and a few devotees started to dance with him during the evening arati. But most of people, they were standing, but just near the walls, like not moving at all. And Gurudeva told, like, why are you not dancing? Like, you're like ice. But to make ice melt, like ice pieces should be moved. So let's dance together in glory of Guru, in glory of Mahaprabhu, glory of Shashirada and Krishna. And Gurudeva, he started to show the movements, how like we should dance in Kirtana. And from that point, everybody started very enthusiastically dancing, like jumping. But after this Sankirtana, Gurudeva, he was happy, but he told that it's nice how you dance. So yes, but it's only 50% of my Kirtana in Brazil. Like what I told in the beginning, everybody immediately started dance. Like Gurudeva likes this, because this is how Gurudeva he's telling that when Mahaprabhu he was dancing during Sankirtana, it's not by force, it's this prema doing him dancing, like moving all his body. And now Srila Gurudeva, he's completely like this, the same. And Gosvaminam Vanam Namaha, like our Srila Gurudeva, he is real Goswami. Goswami, he is who, like simple meaning is who can control and who is the master of his senses, like completely master of his senses. But for such Vaishnavas, like no need to control, they have no any material desires. All their senses, they are completely transcendental. And also Goswami, for me, it's like our Srila Gurudev, he's like 6 Goswami. And actually on that, like which life of our Goswamis, like 6 Goswamis of Vrindavana, we have these examples, we heard many stories, and all real Vaishnavas, all real Gurus, they are the same, like which moods are in their hearts, like how they behave, how they look like, and all this we can see in our dear Srila Gurudev. And actually during that Altai festival, after coming to that amazing river, and Gurudeva told her, oh, it's like a Ganges, and it was really like a completely white color, like very beautiful, pure river. And we went back, and I don't know why, I just, this question came to my heart, and I asked Gurudeva, like, oh, Gurudeva, like such prayers and such bhajans, like Shad Goswami Ashtakam, or Prabhupada Stavam, Prabhupada Stava, that also, no, like some bhajanas which glorify special qualities, as like, for example, Srila Prabhupada or 6 Goswamis, or any other like bhajanas glorifying like our acharyas, Vaishnavas. Like, can we imply this to Shri Guru? Like, and I didn't tell during meditating on this bhajanas, like, can we think about you? I didn't tell like you, but in my heart I felt like this, like, can I understand that all qualities of like 6 Goswamis, which in Shat Goswami Ashtakam, it's also like your qualities. Like what was in my mood was of the question is what like it was like this. And when I asked Gurudeva, he like looked at me and like immediately thought, of course, like so boldly, like of course, yes, like don't think like some Vaishnavas who were living like many years ago and they were living under the trees, like the nature of real Vaishnava, like parikar of Lord, like pure devotee is the same. And actually, while reading Shat Goswami Ashtakam, you can see that actually all these transcendental qualities we can see in our Srila Gurudev, and also in this bhajan we can see as Gurudeva always telling like Goswamis, they had two kind of dealings, like external and internal, like sadhaka rupena and siddha rupena. And sadhaka rupena, like our 6 Goswamis, they every day glorify Shri Radha and Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, singing their name, glory of their names, qualities, leelas, and paying exactly number of obeisances and chanting exactly number of rounds. But also we can see this also in our Srila Gurudev. Many devotees before spoke about this, how Gurudeva, his day, what he's doing, how strong and strict his sadhana, because Gurudeva as real Acharya, he's given like as example, his life is like example for us. And also Siddha Rupena, like internally, all 6 Goswamis, they all always observe in separation mood with Shri Radha and Krishna. They are associates with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, how they see this dham and which behavior they had. All this we can see. Of course, it's transcendental, and to see all this, like it can only self-realized soul. But some hints Gurudeva always showing to us. Like sometimes he's like devotees saw how Gurudeva he's changing color of his body, you know, like how he's observing how when he looks during Harikatha, his glance like completely not here. He's like in spiritual world. What he's seeing, he's speaking in his Harikatha. And I don't know, do I have like more minutes or finish? I'm so sorry. I was thinking I would speak just 5 minutes. I didn't know what to tell. So no, your mic is.
Sorry, it's not surprising that once a devotee starts to speak about their Gurudev that they forget and lose control of themselves and the time. So if you'd like to conclude in a few words.
Yeah, just I wanted to tell that also special qualities or what our Goswamis, 6 Goswamis, they did by what instruction Sri Mahaprabhu gave to them. We can see our Srila Gurudev, he is doing all these things also. Like first is to reveal pastime places of Shri Radha and Krishna in Vrindavan, and also during parikrama, we can see how Gurudeva, he knows all the places, he's showing all these places. Sometimes some hidden places in where all parikrama not going, and sometimes really very rare, even senior devotees, sometimes like Gurudeva, he's showing like for first time and explaining, of course, glory of these places. Like another is to establish Thakurjis, and we know that our Srila Gurudeva, he's always installing amazing Thakurjis in all over the world to give opportunity to jivas of this world to worship Lord in such amazing form. And also third and very special quality which our Goswamis did is Mahaprabhu told them to write books. And we know our Gurudeva, he's very famous with this, like Gurudeva's books, they very sweet and amazing. And also he likes that his books should be like very beautiful and attractive, as the Lord himself, he's always beautiful, attractive, and his books about glory of Shiguru and Vaishnavas and Lord should be also the same. And sometimes devotees buying books only by looking at them. And this is special Gurudeva's glory. And also Vaishnava etiquette, like our Gurudeva, he's example of this Vaishnava etiquette. He's always teaching to all devotees how to follow all the rules and regulations of Vaishnava Dharma, and he is the best example of this. And of course, can be much more to say. And thank you so much for giving this opportunity. And I hope that one day, real glory of my Srila Gurudeva will reveal in my heart. And please, all devotees, bless me to serve with enthusiasm to our dear Srila Gurudev. Jai Srila Gurudev ki
Shri
jai.
Gurudev ki jai. Shri Guru Varga ki jai. Thank you very much, Ananda Pradhani Devidasi, for revealing so many of the different aspects of Srila Gurudev, from his pranam mantra, from the meaning of puja, what is Vyasdev, and who Shri Guru really is. I mean, it's a very esoteric question, and this is for the disciple to realize through their sadhana and bhajan. But it's very important to think about these things, and Gurudev is not the external personality, although he is. He's non-different from his body, as Krishna is non-different from himself. And to remember and to think about Sri Guru is the same as being with him. We should never think that he's very far away. We should never think that he's not with us. We should never become hopeless, as you know. And in this way, we can always remember him in separation. And this is the mood of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So thank you very much for sharing all of that with us. It's very nice examples of Chakora bird, and it's a wonderful way to think of Srila Gurudev as he's very special. He'll only drink that nectar which is coming from his Guru Varga, and he will share that with us unconditionally. He's ready to give as much as he can, as much as we're able to carry. And he's expert in that. He's like a rasgulla himself, very tasty. You can see the ras emanating from him. And like when he said to you, yes, of course, we should think of him in the way that the previous acharyas are glorified in the Stavastuti, because whenever we glorify the personality in the Stavastuti, when we glorify it applying to our Gurudev, he is thinking of his Gurudev and the Guru Parampara. He's not thinking of himself. He's not accepting any of that honor or glorification for himself, but it's the duty of the disciple to think of it in that for his Gurudev. And he himself as a disciple will think of his Gurudev, just like when we hear the argument of why Srila Prabhupada was called Srila Prabhupada. When they say Jai Srila Prabhupada, Srila Swami Maharaj was thinking of his Prabhupada. In this way, he was becoming enlivened and more ecstatic, and he wasn't taking any of that glorification for himself. So a disciple is to be very careful and understand this point, that Shri Guru is not taking any glorification for himself. He's not taking anything that you offer him for his own pleasure. He's offering everything. And we see that in our Gurudev. He's offering everything to the lotus feet of his Gurudev. So thank you very much for sharing with us such nice, wonderful realizations. I'll translate a little bit in Hindi, and please excuse me for that. Jo sab Hindi bhakta hai, bahut kam hai. There are very few Hindi listeners left on the platform, but my apologies for that. I think I might have warded them away. But jo sun rahe hain, wo गुरुदेव की महिमा ही सुन रहे, जो भी दूसरी भाषा में है, लेकिन भाषा के भाव में सब कुछ आ जाते हैं जब हम सुनेंगे। जब हम बांग्ला क्लासेस सुनते हैं, गुरुदेव बोलते हैं आप बैठो, आप सुनो, जब आप समझते हो नहीं समझते हो, जो कुछ समझ में आएंगे आपके कान में आएंगे और हृदय में बैठेंगे, वो जो शुद्ध भाव से बोल रहे हैं भक्तों, वो भाव हमारे हृदय में आएंगे, वो जो कुछ ना कुछ असर करेंगे। जैसे हम उदाहरण देते हैं, जब हम स्नान करते हैं, स्नान करने के समय बहुत कम पानी हमारा शरीर पर जाते हैं, वो पड़ते हैं। ज्यादा पानी तो नीचे गिर जाते हैं। वो पानी जो जाते हैं वो पड़ते हैं हमारे शरीर पर, वो पूरा उसके असर हमारे शरीर पर आते हैं। वैसे भी जो हरि कथा बोलते हैं लोग, अंग्रेजी में बोलते हैं, हिंदी में बोलते हो, बांग्ला में बोलते हैं, वो हरि कथा जरूर हमारे हृदय में कोई नहीं कुछ ना कुछ असर करेंगे, कुछ ना कुछ इफेक्ट हो जाएंगे। तो आनंद प्रदायिनी दीदी बहुत सुंदर भाव से गुरुदेव की महिमा गुण गाया और इसके प्रणाम मंत्र के महिमा हमको समझाया, और हमको एक विचार दिया जो हम सोचते हैं गुरुदेव कौन है, उसकी स्वरूप क्या है, उसका जो गोलोक वृंदावन में क्या संबंध है राधा कृष्ण के साथ, और उनकी गुरु परंपरा के साथ, उनके गुरु के साथ, वो महिमा हमको सुनाए और बहुत सुंदर प्रकार से बताया। और जैसे रसगुल्ला है, रसगुल्ला देखने में से हमारा मुंह में पानी आ जाते, गुरुदेव को देखने से भी हमको उसका रस आस्वादन कर सकते। गुरु का दर्शन देखने में भी हमारा पाप सब कुछ नाश हो जाते, जो धो जाते, और ऐसे महिमा सुनने के हमारा हृदय पवित्र होता है। सो इसी बात सुनकर हम आज का प्लेटफॉर्म हम विराम देते हैं। कल जरूर आप सब लोग आना, एवरीबडी प्लीज कम एंड जॉइन अस and take part in this presentation. So with that, I hope Sham Prabhu is there. He may unmute and everybody, just if they wish to say something, as I don't have the controls for that. I don't think he's with us. So I will end this meeting. If anybody would like to say anything else, who would like to unmute, please do. Radhakanti Didi is there. Divya Premamay is there. I don't think Divya, you've spoken as yet. I hope you will come and speak. Chandrika Didi is there. She's spoken already.
Yeah, she wants to tell something, I think.
Okay.
She put some point.
Oh, she put her hand,
Yeah.
some clapping hands of appreciation. So, okay. And the heart there. Thank you, Chaitanya Das, for translating. And I hope that was effective. And thank you, Damodar Prabhu, also for inviting us to be host. Thank you, everyone, for listening. And we will see you soon. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Dandavad pranam to all of you.
Dandavat
Thank you so much to Ananga Mohan Prabhu
What
to
did for
host this.
thank you, Chandrika.
Not
Didi.
only thank you so much, thank you very, very so much.
No, I will disappear very quickly.
Wonderful. It is wonderful. Really appreciated. And we applaud.
This one Arjun Saka Prabhu from the Dwarika. He is very near and dear disciple of Gurudev.
It is all support from the Shyam Prabhuji. He is so wonderful. He is so supportive. Really, it's appreciated. He is basically the commanding like a military man. You know,
Shyam,
everybody is coming to Shyam Prabhu and he is organizing and you know.
Arjun Prabhu, if you turn your video on, we can see you. If it's possible.
Okay, 1 second.
Then we can connect the name with the face and make it more personal. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat pranam.
Dandavats. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. It is Anang Mohanji, who is doing great things, and Sam Prabhu, I'm talking of basically he's, you know, really no word to appreciate. Really,
He's the Shyam Prabhu is the Shyam Prabhu is the foundation.
No, Gurudev is the foundation and Anang Mohan Prabhu is the main and everything. And one thing I want to inform you, actually many devotees watching the Facebook also, approx 7 or 8 devotees. And also Chaitanya Prabhu is translating in Hindi. I sent it approx 400 pupils, but many people seen and they all are very happy listening the Hindi Harikatha also.
Right.
Hindi translation.
Thank you very much, Shyam. And tomorrow's list, who is speaking tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow total one thing I want to inform to all of you. I sent it to Damodar Prabhu. Tomorrow one is Anuradha Dasi from Ghaziabad, and one is Brishvanu Nandini. Yes, she is also from Ghaziabad, and Rama Krishna Prabhu, he is from Narela, and Shangita Didi, she is also from the Narela, and one is Pandeji, he is from also Narela, and Manoj Prabhu from Ghaziabad.
Okay, quite a few speakers then.
Tomorrow is 6 speakers, all are Hindi speakers.
But yeah, we encourage everyone, even if they don't understand Hindi, to please come and listen and take part in the platform.
Also, Chaitanya Prabhu, he will translate in English tomorrow.
Good.
That's
Yes,
nice.
I will translate it in English tomorrow.
Thank you, Chaitanya Das.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, Damodar Prabhu कुछ कहना चाहते हैं? Yes, Damodar Prabhu, please.
No, Hare Krishna, Hare Bol. No, I was just seeing if there was a translator for tomorrow. If not, if someone wanted to volunteer, like, you know. But we have Chaitanya Prabhu, and that's good.
Actually, बहुत सारे speakers थे before at the time of joining, more than 30 pupils. Actually, now in India, you know, more than 10 o'clock, then everybody is sleeping now. And now it's 10:30 night time.
Okay.
Then
Yes.
everybody left. And one is Arjun Prabhu and one is Rakesh Puri ji from the Uttam Nagar, and Chaitanya Das.
And Sham, you are
Actually, he have seva.
you're still awake. Actually, according to Indian time, it's still early. Indian, we don't sleep until midnight. Something is going on always.
No, actually, now cold time, na. Then 6 o'clock is the completely night time, na. Then now more than 4 hours 30 minutes, na, night.
Okay.
Then at least mid night.
Okay. It's cold.
Yes. Delhi's cold is also very painful.
Okay. Take care. Also here, winter. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
No
Dandavad
problem.
Pranam. We will meet
Hare
again
Krishna, Dandavat Pranam to all.
tomorrow on time.
Thank you.
Krishna,
Hare